Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more R.I.P. continuing Sano's route. We finally got a little peek of our boyfriend last time. But, like, seriously, game, I'm gonna need to see my dead boy. Anyway, yeah, so. Since my miraculous reunion with Sana, I replayed the moments over and over again in my head, and my heart filled with joy each time. But his confession that he had feelings for me carried more than just excitement. He said he was both troubled and happy. Hearing him say that Hearing him say that to me only made me feel filled with renewed resolve. I don't know why I could not for a hot second process that sentence. I was like, hearing him say that only what? I'm like, Jesus Christ. Woo! Brain not working today. Anyway, I wanted to help Sana somehow. However, there was something else I had to do first. Yeet myself in front of a car? So I can be with my boyfriend? No? The next day, I was off from school the next day, but I still got up early and quickly left my house to visit the Tsukumo Shrine. I broke your Magatama! The Magatama I had received from the priest had turned black, and I went to apologize to him. I'm very sorry. I apologetically placed the Magatama back in the priest's hand.
Oh? And what happened here?
The truth is, yesterday I met someone very special. Then after I met him, I looked at the Magatama and it became like this.
Well, that's wonderful. When I gave this to you, I wasn't sure it would work. I'm glad it did.
I'm certain it was all thanks to the stone, so thank you very much. After accepting my thanks, the priest gave me a small smile and a nod. You see, the thing is, I realize this is quite brazen of me to ask, but is there any way to restore its power? You got any more of that?
If given time, the power should return to the stone. I think, anyway.
How much time does it normally take? Like, what are we talking? Like a day? Like 2 days max? He's like, I don't know, 2-3 years. Fuck!
I can't say for sure. Perhaps in my younger days I could do it myself, but...
He must have been quite strong when he was younger. Even when I was a living ghost, the priest seemed to be able to sense me. His power was clearly the real deal. I guess that means we just have to wait, huh?
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it. That spirit that's been with you remains nearby, watching over you.
Like, you hear that, Sana? He can sense you! Oh, you mean he's here right now? Seeing the priest nod in response, I began looking around me. I knew I shouldn't be able to see him, but I still found myself looking for Sana anyway. I mean, let's be real. If you were there and someone's like, oh yeah, no, you have a spirit around you, you'd be like, where? Even though you know you can't see it, you'd still fucking look. Absolutely. How do you not? Seeing me look around like that, the priest let out a troubled sigh.
I've grown quite old, so don't get your hopes up. Now wait here.
With that, he went and retrieved a ceremonial staff often used for exorcisms. Well, don't exorcise the ghost, it's my boyfriend.
O Lord of the dead, have mercy and bless me. Lord of joy, Lord of beyond, send your blessings. Ties of old and ties of new, if there be a bond between the two, I pray they are joined once again.
Are you going to bring Sana back to life? Then, after raising his voice, he suddenly stopped and strained his ears to listen.
I see. I believe he's gotten the message.
Really? Did you hear him? Did you hear Sana's voice?
Yes, of course I heard him. He said, Spacey, I appreciate your feelings.
That's it?
I feel like he said something else, but I couldn't quite make it out. I've been having trouble hearing these days. I guess that's what age does to you.
What's this man, like 46, 47 or something? I'm just saying that's what they do in Atome games. Actually, to be fair, he's probably only 32. I'm not being mean to anyone in their 30s, trust me. Trust me, because I'm not in my 20s. But I mean, it's just Atome games and anime in general. It's like, oh my god, you're over the age of 30, draws you looking like you're 80. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know. the priest, to be, again, I mean, okay, you're right. You're right. He's 26.
That's what happens when you cross over the ancient age of 25.
Oh, Jesus. Whips out my old lady.
Back in my day, we didn't get old until we hit 30.
Oh, dear God. It doesn't really seem like being hard of hearing would apply to speaking with ghosts.
What was that? A mirror?
A mirror?
Go to the mirror. I feel like I might have heard that too.
If he really did say mirror, then there was only one place I could think of that made sense. Thank you very much. With his prayer complete, I bowed deeply and began to run. I mean, it's not like we could see Hibiki. One day, when the school was closed, I silently walked up the staircase, filled with hope. Well, wouldn't that be today? I'm here. I stared at the large mirror on the landing. The mirror Sena mentioned. This has to be the one. He said the mirror. He didn't say a mirror, so obviously, I took a deep breath, swallowing hard, then spoke with a trembling voice. Sena? And then Hibiki's like, what the fuck? My name's Hibiki. Like, Hibiki? My words were laced with hope, a prayer, and as I gently touched the mirror, did I just get sucked in? I felt like I was touching the surface of water. My hand sunk into the mirror. Whoa. Are we gonna use the same tactics to see this current ghost boyfriend as the last one? Because, I'm gonna call shenanigans on that. I mean, I'm not opposed to it because we get to see our ghost boyfriend, but also, the hell game, come on. Recycling plots. Instantly, my entire body was inside, swallowed by the mirror. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's a nice place to hide when you don't want to go to class. The world flipped upside down. A strange sensation enveloped me. The scene that unfolded before me left me without words. This is how I keep my man harem. Lit by a shining blue light, the floor danced in front of me. It was the same as the place where I had just been, but reversed. This is... Hold on. The world inside the mirror. Well, I don't know if this is supposed to be Sena or Hibiki. Because you think it'd be Hibiki because it's his world, but maybe it's Sena because Sena's the one that told us to come here anyway. Well, one of them, is saying neither the mortal realm nor the hidden realm, just one that's reversed. That voice, I'm assuming it's Sena? Okay. Oh, look, we get to finally see him in his own fucking route! A long time no see, Spacey. I mean that in both a good and a bad way. I never thought I'd see you again. Sena, standing there, staring back at me with a bitter smile on his face, was the one I was looking for. I give up. I thought I told you to forget about me, didn't I? Or at least that's what I wanted to tell you, but seeing you like this just blows all that away now. I feel the same way. There's so much I want to tell you, but I'm not sure how. It was proof that everything I'd felt and experienced these past few days wasn't a lie. Standing right in front of me with a faint smile was Sena, unchanged from when I'd seen him last. To be fair, 20 years from now, if you do this, he's going to be unchanged from when you saw him last, Holding back the tears that were welling up in my eyes, I bowed deeply to him. I'm so sorry, Sena. I'd finally made it back to the real world, only to come back and meet you here like this. You don't need to apologize. I may have told you I wanted you to forget me, but the truth is, I wanted to see you again, too. I'm so weak. I even called you here. A self-deprecating smile took over his face before his eyes met mine. Can I ask you something? Why did you come to see me? Because I fucking love you and I can't live without you? It would have been so much better if you'd just forgotten about me. Well, that's kind of hard to do. It's too late for that. I've already decided I want to help you. I'm too worried about you becoming an evil spirit. I can't just stand by and do nothing. So you came because you were worried about me. Well, thanks for that. I could tell that his words of gratitude were laced with disappointment. Not knowing the reason for his displeasure, I merely blinked back at him. Oh, because you're worried about me, not because you're in love with me. Girl, also tell him you're in love with him. Why are you so upset?
Because you looked so desperate before, almost as though you were going to cry. And now I find out you're just worried about me. Of course I'm disappointed. But maybe it was wrong of me to hope for some other reason, right?
No, the real reason... Is that how I truly feel? As he peered into my face, I just wanted to see you. Stop teasing me! I love stop teasing me. You're like, you're just teasing me. You know I love you. But it's probably, I just wanted to see you. Yeah. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Knowing I was defeated, Sena brought his face closer to mine. Now we can have a real kiss, not a ghost kiss.
What is it you feel bad about?
His nose gently grazed against mine. We were close enough that our lips nearly touched.
If you feel bad about it, why don't you just tell me how you really feel?
I just wanted to see you. Under the intense pressure of the situation, I blurted out my true feelings, and then now you grab him and kiss him. If he's gonna tease you, you just take it.
Thank you, Spacey.
Oh, don't you get to back the fuck up. You get closer. You don't get closer and closer and closer like you're gonna kiss me and then say, I just wanted to see you, and you're like, okay, good, and then you walk away. Pony up the kiss, bitch. I know we had a kiss seriously in the last part, but it was a ghost kiss. It doesn't really count. It does count, but it also doesn't. You know what I mean?
And I'm sorry, too. I wanted to see you so bad, but maybe I teased you a little too much.
Grab him and kiss him. In an attempt to comfort me, Sena's hand reached toward my head. Sadly, his hand passed right through me, grasping air. Oh, that's not fair. Wait a minute. When we used to pop into the mirror, we could touch Hibiki. Well, okay, you know what? They never said that we could, though, did we? Did I just assume? Maybe I just assumed. But I thought they made a thing like we held hands or whatever, like something. I thought they made it. All right, okay, maybe. All right. So maybe someone on that part of Hibiki's was like, actually, they can't physically touch. And maybe I misconstrued that, but I thought they made it like there was something in a line in text that was like, what the fuck, we can touch him? Or maybe I just assumed. So fair enough. But like, because that would just almost be like better. That's awful. But like, if we don't get to touch Kureha, we can see him and talk to him, but we can't touch him, then we shouldn't get to touch Hibiki. That's rude. That's not fair. And then now we can't touch Sena. Like, that's not like the same rules should apply for all our boyfriends. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess except for like maybe Seiya, because even though he is dead, he's something else. So I could understand if in that like arc that they operate differently. I'm assuming Koharu and Yukimaru will probably also operate the same way the ghosts do, even though they're guardian spirits. They're still spirits. You know what I mean? But like, Seiya and Minami are not exactly spirits. So like, they might have different rules. But anyway.
I had a feeling that wouldn't work. I thought maybe there was a chance since we met here, but...
As Sena spoke, he reached out toward the staircase handrail. But just like with me, his hand passed right through it. Even in Hibiki's mirror world, he can't touch anything. You mentioned the world in the mirror earlier. What is it exactly?
Exactly what it sounds like. The mirror world is where Hibiki lives. It's kind of a world between worlds. And that's why you and I are able to see each other here like this.
Then Sena told me about the conversation he had with Hibiki, but Hibiki can touch stuff in this world, and no one else can. So the rules are different for him specifically, so we might have been able to touch him in this world.
The mirror world?
Yes, this is my world alone, and no one can enter without my permission. It's a very special place, a space.
It exists neither in the mortal realm nor the hidden realm, which makes me wonder if the living and the dead can meet here. But this is an important space to you. Can we really use it as a meeting place? I'm a little unsure about it too, but she seemed so desperate before. I want to help the two of you meet.
Listen, Hibiki, you may not be my favorite love interest. For me personally, he did have a great route. Okay, I'll give him that. But he is fucking adorable and sweet. So but again, it's one of those the route is great, but you're not for me. You're too adorable. He's too adorable for me, even though he's stabby and kind of psycho. But just visually, you're you're adorable. He's so precious. But it's oh, precious. There's oh, my precious. There's a difference between turning into Gollum precious and then oh, precious. He's an adorable puppy. You want to pet. You know what I mean? And he fits in that he's adorably precious and you're I love him. He's adorable, but I don't want to love him. You know what I mean? There's a line and he's just on the wrong side of it, unfortunately. But the route was good. And I was there for it. We were totally invested. Okay, so, and I'm not complaining about it at all. But he is a little sweetheart, isn't he, right now? Well, he's not getting a little crazy. These are my true feelings. So please remember, you need to be careful. What do you mean, be careful? Around me. Huh? I'm sorry. I realize this might make you anxious, but you have to remember what I'm about to tell you. Ever since I felt the warmth of the living, this desire awakened in me. The desire to feel that warmth forever. Of course, I'm going to do everything I can to resist that desire, but I'm worried I might try and attack her. And being self-aware. Brownie points for that, So please, don't stay too long. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to restrain myself. He felt my warmth? I couldn't remember touching Hibiki, and more than anything else, she touched the mirror. I can't imagine Hibiki attacking me. That's unthinkable. He was always so kind and friendly when we spoke before. And things are different now. You were a living ghost then, but now you're alive. You hold something that we, the dead, no matter how much we desire it, can't have. You hold something that we, the dead, no matter how much we desire it, can't have. Yes, that makes absolute sense, but also doesn't. You know what I mean? It's you hold something that we can't have. You know what I mean? But when with all that in there, it starts to not sound right, but it is absolutely grammatically correct, but it's just weird. I don't know. Hibiki is a spirit that's been trapped here far longer than I have. Spending an eternity in the dark, only to be visited by a light, one so close you can nearly touch it. It would drive anyone mad. A shudder ran through me as I hurriedly looked around my surroundings. And where's Hibiki now? He's in the mirror world, that I know for sure. But I believe he's trying to stay as far away as possible. If he were to see you, he might not be able to control himself. Just from seeing me? Then that just bodes what the hell was happening when we stepped into the mirror in Hibiki's route. Jesus. Sir? Unless we actually couldn't touch him. But again, I feel like the rules were different for him. A chill ran down my spine as I worried about what could be behind me. In response, Sana flashed me a troubled smile. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I just wanted you to understand. You should know the risk when the living come to the realm of the dead. Right. I understand. But please, don't worry. He said he'll be able to control himself while we talk. Besides, I'll be here to protect you. I've been working out. I've gotten plenty good at moving quickly. That's reassuring. Thank you. We're okay. In that case, I guess that means we don't have a lot of time to talk. Yeah, I wish there was some other less risky way for us to talk, but... Risk or no, there's something I absolutely need to tell you. Okay, and thank you for doing all this for me. Sana smiled at my words. For now, let's get some air. It's best not to stay too close to the mirror. Sana nodded slightly before walking away, leading me deeper into the school. How are we going to get some air inside? I knew there was nobody there, but I couldn't help but feel as though we were being watched. Filled with such an eerie sense of foreboding, I walked down the mirrored corridor. We stopped at the cafeteria, which was cast in a strange bluish glow.
Eesh, how do I put this? That color makes me lose my appetite.
Agreed.
It still makes me feel nostalgic, though. When Koyo and I used to go to school here, we'd have lunch with each other right over there.
That's right. You said before that you graduated from here.
Yep, I guess that makes me your senior, huh?
Funny, I can't really picture you in high school, Sana. I feel like you were an idol from the time you were born or something.
Seriously. At the time, I was just one of the countless kids who wanted to grow up to be an idol.
He must have felt like reminiscing because he sat down on a nearby chair as a small smile crept onto his face. His eyes narrowed as he began to speak. Oh my god, are we going to get a CG? No, flashback.
I believe we touched on this before. About how I came to find joy in singing in front of others. Koyo was the one who suggested I start uploading videos of me singing to social media. As you can imagine, the first ones were terrible. The number of views were in the double digits. I was thrilled if the video reached 3.
You know, I take personal offense to this. The number of views were in the double digits. I was thrilled if the video reached 3. I mean, I'm thrilled when a video gets even close to 100. It's like, look at that! That's you! It doesn't happen. It really doesn't. Guys, this is why if you ever, like, when people are like, I'm gonna be a famous YouTuber. Okay, probably not. Granted, there are people that manage it, sure. But, like, most of us are like, yeah, we do this for fun, because if you wanted to do this for a living or the numbers are important to you, you will really feel miserable and depressed. Because, like, I do this for fun. I enjoy doing this. It does not matter to me if there are thousands of views on a video or, like, 20. If there are 20 people that are enjoying this, that's good enough, because I'm not totally alone. But, like, I'd still be doing it, you know what I mean? But I don't look at the numbers because even though you're like, I do this for fun, I enjoy doing this. I have more fun recording the games and uploading them than I would just playing them by myself. So, you know what I mean? It makes it more worth it for me in that sense. But when you look at the numbers, you're like, ugh. But it does take a lot of work to do everything, to record, to upload, to do everything, and then go, it's like talking to a void. But to be fair, no, I mean, you know, in general, no, you guys aren't a void. Don't take that the wrong way. But you know what I mean? Like, you're like, we're never getting anywhere, especially like, you know, you're like, okay, that's sad. But again, like, I think there's a lot of people that do it and expect it to just, oh my god, look, we got thousands of views all of a sudden. It's like, it's never going to be like that. It's never going to be like that. I'm also doing something very niche here. You know what I mean? Like, there's not it's not like millions of people are, I mean, there are probably a fuck ton of people playing Atome games, but like, most people are playing them themselves. That's part of the joy of playing them. And then sometimes people come here after the fact, or you come here because you're like, I don't have the money to buy every single fucking Atome game. Valid. Especially now. Or, I want to see your reactions after this because there's some shit in here. And I've done the same thing with other games I've played. Like, I gotta go find I gotta see what people think of this. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's, like, part of the fun, and that's why we do these things. But, like, you know, it's not like I'm playing, like, a first-person shooter where I'm gonna get, like, a fuck ton of... That would just be traumatic, and I wouldn't do that, because you know you're gonna have dudes that are, like, twats being an asshole, so, like, this is a much better, safer environment in general, but it's a smaller community, and I'm not for everyone. I get that. You know what I mean? Some people just, like, just put the game on auto, let me read through, have the voice, and it's like, then buy the damn game yourself. What the fuck? That's definitely probably going against terms of service. We're probably towing a line here, but, like, aside from, like, voltage, I don't know that Axis and Idea Factory International really can't, I mean, because they could, I'm just saying, I got a lot of their shit out there, so they could have, like, axed me a long time ago, you know what I mean? But it's probably also in the fact that, like, I don't have the voice acting on. I'm not doing that. We're reacting to it, and it's like, if they wanted to really come at, they could. Absolutely. They could be like, Banhammer, bye, bitch. But, like, they either don't care, really, which is good, or, you know, it's because I don't have the voice acting on, and I'm not just sitting here letting it go auto, and then go off making dinner or doing something else and then uploading videos where you're basically playing the game. You know what I mean? Because I've seen videos like that and I'm like, why wouldn't I just play the game myself? The whole fun of what I'm doing here is the shitty voice acting and commenting, reacting, thinking, pondering, and like, yes, if I had the time or the give a fucks, because that's part of it too, to like stream or something, but also that makes me like this I can do because I'm talking to myself right now. I am talking to myself essentially. Yes, I'm going to edit this and in like a month it's going to be up on YouTube for everyone to see, but like as far as I'm concerned right now it's just me talking to my damn self. You are just imaginary people in my brain at the moment, which is fucking weird. Does that feel weird for you? Like me saying that? But you know what I mean? Like streaming is like, then there's people, and then it's like, then I'm talking to actual people, and that's, listen, I can be extroverted and do these things and talk to people, but like, dealing with people all long day at work, and then doing that, it's like, I couldn't do that. It's too much. It's too much. You know, I can watch people stream and like chat with chat and whatever, because then you can be like, I don't want to chat anymore. I need to like sit in a corner and you don't have to engage. But when you're streaming, you have to engage. You know what I mean? 24/7 the whole time. And it's like, I can't do that. That's too much pressure, you know? Also, just the setup and everything like that. And then you have to read chat. And then you know there's going to be people coming in to like say douchey things purposely because it's like live, where they don't really put the effort in on like YouTube videos. So that's awesome. So, but anyway, no, I absolutely feel Santa, like, my views are in the digits. If it reaches 3, I'm happy. Yeah, no, I feel that. That is the state of my YouTube channel. For most of our videos reach double digits. So if I reach triple digits, it's like, I think that's what he means. If video reached 3 digits, like 100, you know, because I'm like, and that's exactly, I read that originally as like, if it reached 3, like 3 views. And I'm like, well, how would you get double digits and then only 3 views? I'm like, but I feel that too. If you're like sitting there and you're like, 10 people, yay! That's exciting. Okay, it's not bad. It's exciting. But yes, if when I see a video and I'm like, holy shit, that one got like 700 views. That's amazing. Anyway, that's like a once in a month thing. It's usually, if you look back, like you have to go back about 3 months and then you're like, in the last 3 months, we've gotten like 200 views. That's amazing. And then usually it's like 4. So I know everybody doesn't watch shit as it goes up, but you know what I mean? Which is why I don't look at the numbers. It's like, I don't look at the numbers because that's where it starts weighing on you. Or like if you look at subscriber count and everything, because honestly, my channel has not changed in like 5 fucking years. I am pretty sure I've had basically the same fucking number since like 2019. We're pushing like almost 6 now. You know what I mean? And like, it was like climbing a little bit. It got to a certain point, and then I'm sure YouTube occasionally does sweeps where like they delete people and whatever, or like, but it's like, because I know like new people are coming along all the time, you know, but it's like, but the number's not changing, so it's got to be like people that haven't had haven't watched YouTube in 2 years are finally like getting deleted off as like, hey, 5 new people came on and then 4 channels got deleted, like, you know, whatever, and but it basically hasn't really changed in like 4 or 5 years, and it's like, you know, that it could even be longer than that. In my head, I'm like 4 years, and I'm like, I feel like I've been saying that for 4 years, but you know what I mean? So I'm like, if you look at the numbers, it gets really fucking like depressing when I don't do this for the numbers, because there is no fucking way in hell I could ever off this channel supplement my actual working income. You know? Like, the channel doesn't even support itself, to be fair. It supports me having fun. So that's the important thing to know. I'm not trying to like make anybody feel weird or anything or like, sorry, don't feel sad. I do this because I enjoy doing it, and we're going to keep doing it because I enjoy doing it. And that's the important part, okay? So don't all of a sudden get sad like Spacey's going to quit because her channel isn't going anywhere. My channel hasn't gone anywhere in like ever, okay? It was getting to a point and then it stopped and it's been sitting there ever since, and that's fine. Because that's why I don't look at the numbers. Because I know it'll make me sad, even though I stop and I go, you know, it doesn't matter though, because I have fun doing this. I think it makes me sad because I'm like, I'm having so much fun and I want to share it with you. And then there's like nobody. Well, you guys are here. Like for watching the Atome stuff, the Atome stuff is pretty fun. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, like I want more people to have fun. Like I'm having fun when I do this. You know what I mean? Like you're maybe not right now, you're not having fun, but like in general, you're usually having fun watching these. And that makes me happy that you're having fun, that I'm having fun. You know what I mean? And I just want more people to experience that and have fun with us. You know? So sometimes I'm like, oh, we don't have a lot of people having fun here. But to be fair, I'd rather them not be here than be here and be miserable. So whatever. But yeah, I don't do it for the numbers. I'm not going to quit because the numbers aren't good. I'm like, well, let's just not look at them because it makes you sad. But you're like, I do this because I enjoy doing it. And again, like, I was devastated when Voltage almost took my channel down. Like, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, because I enjoy doing this. Even when it gets stressful and I'm like, oh God, I'm behind and I got so much. At the end of the day, I love doing this. I have fun doing this. And I know I said it recently, but I probably wouldn't spend as much time playing Atome games. I'd probably like not even buy a fraction of them if I wasn't doing this. Not because I don't love the games, I do. It's just, I think of all the ones that I have that I could be playing because I can't record them or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they've been sitting there stacking up and like wasting space, or I haven't bought them. You know what I mean? And I probably, and I'm like, because this is what I want to do with them. So like, if this wasn't here, like, I don't know, I might play like 1 or 2 a year, And it's really stupid because like some of the games I really enjoy, but I just go through phases where all of a sudden I'm like, I sit there and I'm like, I'm bored and I do nothing. And then I'm just like putzing around on my phone and I'm like, I have like so many games I could finish. I have not literally touched my Baldur's Gate 3 save in a year. And I love that game. But to be fair, I had to take a couple months off of it because I accidentally deleted a couple hours worth of recent saves. And I was like, I'm not going to touch it because it was last November. And I was like, it's fine. I'll wait till after Christmas because then I'll forget what I deleted. I'm like, I know I deleted stuff. I won't remember where I was and what I was. And now a year later, I'm like, one of these days. I haven't finished Fire Emblem Engage. Still haven't finished Persona 5 Strikers. You know what I mean? Like, I have so many games that I'm like, I just never finished. And I really should finish them. We finish games here, okay? We do. So I'm just saying, this is how we get things done. Anyway, let's get things done instead of rambling for 3 hours. But that's what you come for, right? No. But anyway. So I feel sane, is all I'm saying.
The comments were always about what a terrible dancer I was.
Okay, well, nobody leaves comments about what a terrible dancer I am. So that's nice. Please don't start. Okay, because you've never seen me dance. So you would be right, though.
Of course, every time I posted a new video, I thought about quitting, but,
well, that's not true. I don't do that, but
then I would remember how much I enjoyed singing for others, and so I kept going.
I do remember how much I enjoy doing this, so that's why I keep going. And no matter how much you tell me to leave, I won't. Nobody has.
I learned that even if you're bad at something, if you keep going, it'll eventually take shape. And then I learned how to edit my videos. I started going to dance classes weekly, and I did vocal training every day. But the truth is, it wasn't some overnight success where the videos started blowing up or anything like that. Hey,
bless you. You were sitting there nice,
and then you just started biting at me, and I don't like you biting on my face. I'm not going to share my pizza with you later.
What are you doing?
You're not going to get pizza. I already gave you some pizza earlier, didn't I? I did. I gave you pizza. We went and we got pizza. And we got a bun cake. You think I told everyone in the last part we were going to do that? We're recording this later on the same day as we recorded the last part. But we went and we got pizza. And we got the bun cake. And you're not going to get to have any of my bun cake. No treats for you jerk. He's like, I already had pizza. I know, but I'm not going to give you any more. No more pizza. No more pizza and definitely no bun cakes if you're a jerk. Anyway. All I did was keep uploading videos every week for over 3 years. The going was slow, but eventually I started to get better reactions and comments. Before I knew it, singing and uploading my songs became part of who I was.
I mean, that does happen. It's like part of who I am is playing Atome games and playing my Sims. Like, I don't know what I would have been doing if everything had gone to shit in August. Like, I think I would have been in a very, very depressed place for a while. Like, you know, I'm still living in like a state of fear. Don't get me wrong. I'm always afraid. Every time I open my email now.
That's when it happened. I received a message from an agency that said they were interested in my singing. I didn't question it. I was just so happy. Happy that someone had seen me. Happy that I would have the chance to have even more people see me. I immediately responded with 2 messages, and from there, my life changed. After joining the agency, I went through some really difficult times putting in my dues. I spent time as a backup dancer, and when I finally debuted, I had to fight to be in the center position. But I loved every minute of it. Being under the spotlight, seeing everyone's hands wave in unison, I had no doubt in my mind that moments like those would continue. And then before I knew it, people began talking about us as national-level idols. We were going to do a nationwide tour, but then I collapsed. I wasn't sleeping much then, being on such a tight schedule. At first, I thought I had merely overworked myself. I thought it would actually be a good opportunity to rest up and get ready for the tour. But the truth was much more cruel.
Or is he going to tell us how he died? Like, what is really actually wrong? Instead of, I just get sick.
What do you mean I won't get better?
Oh, I'm afraid it's a heart condition. Okay. I figured as much because he kept having heart pains, whatever, but also where that yellow floor-looking bruise is only on his left side. And if it was like a lung thing, it would have been both sides, and that's where your heart is. You know what I mean? So, I'm afraid it's a heart condition. Your blood circulation is being blocked, and
wait, are you telling me I can't perform anymore?
We're telling you you're gonna fucking die. Although to be fair, he's young, and depending on what it is, they would absolutely have fucking done surgeries and whatever. It's when you get older that they start thinking your life isn't fucking worth trying to save. Where they're like, it's not just, well, it's risky. It's also, well, we could do all this work on you, but you might only last like 20, 30 years. But this 17-year-old kid's got the whole life ahead of him. And it's really kind of fucking stingy and douchey. To be fair, that's mostly with like transplants and stuff because you don't just get hearts every other motherfucking day. So what are they going to do? Are they going to give it to the person who had a drug problem at one point, even if they're sober now? The person who's 70? The 22-year-old. The 22-year-old. That's what they're going to... You know what I mean? They're going to value your life against other people's, which does kind of fucking suck, but you have 1 heart and 3 people, you kind of have to figure out where it's going to be served the best and not be a waste. So, it's got to be hard for doctors and, like, whatever to make that decision. You got to be kind of, like, you know what I mean? You kind of have to be a hard ass to be able to make those choices. Like, but
my body's been taken over by a disease. Oh, body had been. It was as though nothing could be done. For the day I found out, my health got worse and worse.
And that's sad because, like, there's a lot of fucking shit you, like, I feel like they're glossing over it just because they're like, we don't know much about heart conditions, and we just want to say he had a heart condition and then he died, and they don't want to, like, go into what it is or whatever, because then you'd have to do a lot of medical research and get all your facts straight. But you can survive with a heart condition. You know what I mean?
When it was announced I'd begin treatment, the other members continued to work. I couldn't walk. I could barely even talk. Just looking at the well-wishing letters from my fans filled me with pain.
And I mean, if he's got a blockage or something, but I mean, like, he could have died on the operating table. You know what I mean?
All I could do was lay there.
Oh, no, that's true. We know he died in the field.
Staring up at the stars blurred by the city lights from my hospital bed.
Oh, well.
Then finally that day came. The last day of the tour. They had done the whole thing without me. I dully watched the whole thing live on TV from my hospital bed.
We'll wait for Santa until he's well enough to return.
Hearing my fellow band members say those words, bathed in the sparkling spotlight, I dragged my supposedly immobile body from the hospital bed and escaped.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I thought they said he died in the field, but how the fuck did this bedraggled, half-dead child... Okay, well, like, you know, man boy, because he's not like an old man, but he's also not a child, whatever, but how the hell did they let this man escape from the hospital? How the hell did he manage to get the fuck out?
And then, under the stars at Beachfront Park, as the multitude of fans watched the other members of S-Crown on stage, I collapsed there on the grass, without a soul to see me fall. Who am I?
Well, Correa has that same question.
My cheeks were hollow, my body emaciated. I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance. I wasn't the Santa that people knew anymore. Someone answer me. I lay there in the park where Cleo and I shared our dreams with one another. Someone, please find me. But nobody did. And then I drew my last breath.
And the thing is that's sad because he escaped. He went there late, then he was like, someone find me. No one found him, but if someone had found him, they would have brought him back to the hospital. And he might not have died. You know what I mean? So that's kind of sad. He never would have been able to be an idol because his illness probably would have prevented that because depending on whatever, but...
And that's how my story ends. I never told anyone else about this, but I wanted you to know.
Well, you've never told anyone else about this because, well, Koyo knew, but also you were in denial until, like, yesterday. Sure, it's been, like, a week. I don't know. It has not been that long. It has not been very long, so, yeah. Seeing Santa stare back at me so sadly, I couldn't find the words to express my feelings. All I could do was sob as I felt Santa futilely try to stroke my back with his hand.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry.
But I felt like I finally understood. Even though Santa had regained his memories, I understood why he wasn't able to cross over. Without a doubt, Santa, you still want to dream, don't you?
That's right. Even now I'm still not able to give up on my dream.
To be a top-class idol, to stand on stage again, to tour this country with his group, he couldn't do any of those things anymore. He was trapped in this world because of all those unfulfilled dreams. It was a future that was all but assured. A dream was just within his grasp. He couldn't accept that all these things were suddenly taken away from him.
I still want to keep dreaming, even if I'm not alive. That's why I want you to not worry about me. I want to stay here as a ghost for now. Don't look at me like that. It's not as though I'm unhappy either. Honestly, I feel better after telling you everything. I should have just told you everything from the start.
And that's valid. I mean, it's totally fine for him not to be ready to move on. You know what I mean? Because he's like, I know I can't have those things, but I'm not ready to let go of my dreams just yet. It's a process. You know, and he just barely started the process, you know? It's not like he's been doing this process since he died. He's been in denial, so... Seeing him stand up quickly, I knew it was Santa's way of telling me the conversation was over.
So I don't want you chasing after me anymore. You have your own life to live. If you don't, it'll only increase the amount of regrets I have.
Santa's hand gently touched my cheek. Of course, I couldn't feel his touch. But still, I thought I felt the slightest warmth. Perhaps it was only my imagination. Just forget about me. It's not enough for me to be apart from you. I have to forget you too? It's better this way. For you. In response to his cruel words, you mean it's better for you? There's no way I could forget you. I feel like it's better for you is definitely a cruel answer. Are you okay? Do you need a break or something? You are getting very fidgety and weird, Bird. Hold on. While we discuss this. Oh, shit. Has that been oh, fucking A. I hope the sound has not been fucked up this whole time. I'm gonna be freaking mad. Oh. Hold on. Let me get the bird a break. Sometimes if it's popped out just a teeny bit, it's okay. And other times it's not okay. Thank you, buddy. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hold on. Let me check and just make sure this doesn't sound all fucked up, because then we have to go re-record everything, and I would rather find that out now. So hold on. Okay, no, it's just, I went and, like, every time I go to take the bird for a break, I'd make sure I pop my mic, that my microphone doesn't pop out, and I was like, it's slightly out, which is weird because it's been in since earlier today. I have not unplugged my microphone, so it's not like I replugged, and I haven't moved from the same damn spot until just now, so I have no idea why it was slightly, like, not in, but it sounds like it was fine, and it's not, garbled or anything weird. It just wasn't snapped in, but that teeny little micron of space didn't make a difference. Anyway, you mean it's better for you is kind of, I feel like, true, but also a bad answer. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a little harsh. And I feel like there's no way I could forget you. You know, there's no way I could forget you is a nicer answer, but I feel like they're like, in response to his cruel words, I'm going to be cruel too. But that's not the right thing to do. So I think it's like, there's no way I could forget you. I mean, I hope. Yeah, okay. I was like, you mean it's better for you? It's harsh. I mean, again, I do think it's kind of true. It's better for you, but also I don't think that's 100% true, to be fair. It's like, it's better for you, but also for me. Like, I think part of it is it's better for him and it's better for me, you know, but we don't want to be, even though he's being a little cruel right now to try to push us away, we're not going to be cruel back. Impossible. If I could forget about you, I would have already. I spat the words back at him. So I can't do that. I'm always going to think about you. I looked for you. I searched. Please don't say any more. If you keep speaking to me like that, my feelings for you will overflow. I'll end up asking you to stay with me. I'll do it. I'll do it! Sena's hand, which had been touching my cheek, slid down until he wrapped his fingers around my neck and quietly twisted his lips. I might end up killing you. Just then, I felt eyes on my back. Sena and I quickly jumped back to our senses, and I quickly turned around. I feel like that was extremely, like, I get what he's trying to do there. Like, I might end up killing you, to try to, like, scare me away. You know what I mean? Are you trying to scare me away? Because, okay, but I feel like that was very out of character for him. Like, my feelings will overflow. If he said, my feelings will overflow, and then I'll turn into a wraith. Go, okay, all right, but I might end up killing you. Yeah, that's so out of character for you, I don't buy it for a second. Unless he's picking up some creepy Hibiki vibes right now, or he's just trying to scare us. But I don't buy it for a fucking second that he's that character. You know what I mean? Hibiki's saying that to me, I would have bought. What is it? Nobody was supposed to be there. Yet I felt the stare of someone creeping ever closer to us. I think we may have been a bit too leisurely with our time. Then that thing is Hibiki. Sena went to grab my hand so we could make a run for it, but his hand slipped through mine. For a moment he looked terribly sad. Old habits die hard, huh? Come on, follow me. We might not be able to hold hands, but I know what you were trying to tell me. Just having you by my side makes me feel better. Thank you, Spacey. I trailed behind Sena without straying too far as he started walking. And I think because, like, in that moment, like, we're getting some, like, creepy, you know, Hibiki vibes. Was Sena, like, picking up Hibiki vibes and that's why he said that? Or was he just trying to scare me away? Because, again, that's so out of character for him and I don't really love that they even put that in there for a split second. It's like, what are you doing here? Like, that doesn't make sense, but...
Feeling Hibiki's presence slowly approaching, we left the cafeteria quickly. As we ran down the halls, I occasionally looked back at her.
What is it, Sena?
Nothing. I just wanted to make sure you're still with me. If Hibiki really did catch up to us, I was sure something terrible would happen. And yet, despite all that, I felt my lips curling into a smile before I hastily tightened them down. I'm terrible. Being able to talk with Spacey like this, being able to be seen by her like this, it makes me happy. After Spacey woke up and returned to the world of the living, I went to see her every day. I even tried to talk to her. Of course, my words never reached her. I would smile at her, but she couldn't see me. Whenever she seemed lost, there was nothing I could do to console her. All I could do was look on. But she didn't need words to tell me why she was lost. I already knew.
All I'm saying is, cross the fuck over, be reborn, and come meet me as a hot 20-year-old when I'm pushing 40. Just saying. I want that ending now. The game set me up, and if it doesn't give me one of these endings like that, I'm gonna be really fucking disappointed.
She couldn't forget about me. When she screamed those words, her face had the same lost look I'd seen before. This really is bad. I can't believe I made her worry about me. I'd caused her pain. I'd caused her sadness. But the fact that it made me happy filled me with fear. She thought about me, searched for me. It makes me love her even more. Spacey, I don't want to let you go back. I did my best to shake those thoughts away. I want her to go back to the real world. I want to let her find her own happy life. That feeling wasn't a lie. I just wasn't sure how much longer I could keep feeling that way.
No, I'm okay if you try to keep me here with you and you kill me. Like, if you say that, I might kill you. Okay, maybe, like, if he's like, I just desperately want her... He did say he gets possessive, but we haven't really seen that from him, so, like... But I am okay with, like... If you fall hard enough and then you get really possessive and then you kill me and keep me. I'm fine with that, too. You know how I like these things. I looked to Sena's back to give me directions as we walked through the eerily quiet hallway. Just do everything you would do in school, but backwards. I turned around to look behind me many times. Then I let out a small breath.
Be careful. He's got a very good sense of hearing.
You mean he can hear me?
Yeah, that's what he told me. He can hear even the slightest sound.
That's because it's always so fucking quiet here. He's used to complete and utter dead silence, so... I'll be careful. Following close behind Sena, I did my best to walk silently. All Hibiki has to do is stand in front of the mirror. He knows that's where they're gonna go. I want to get out of here as soon as possible, but I know this will be the last time. The last time I can talk to Sena like this. I gently reached out my hand to touch his back, and of course, my hand slipped through him. I knew that would happen, but just in case, I found myself reaching out for him over and over again.
Like, that feels weird.
Eventually, we arrived at the landing where the mirror was. I never knew this mirror world existed so close to my own. Where's the mirror, though? We made it! Where's the mirror?
Shh! Hide here for a minute.
Sena seemed unsettled, and for a moment, I stared at the upper landing of the stairs. Unless it's like we gotta go up and it's up the next flight of stairs or something, but it's like... Then... Suddenly, a dark presence came rushing up from below the stairs.
Calm down. We're not reflected in the mirror yet. Don't let him near you. Oh, don't let him hear you. Let's just quietly go through here.
I couldn't even nod back to Sena. My body was frozen with fear. If I took even one step down the stairs, waiting for me would be... As my body shook with terror, I heard a voice mutter from below the stairs.
I shouldn't. But I just want to touch one more time.
I like how it was like, in the school route, that's the creepiest. I don't know, this is a little creepy. Hibiki's getting creepy as fuck. I mean, I do enjoy that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I can understand why he's a very popular character, because he's, like, sweet and innocent. But then he gets, like, psycho creepy like this? Like, it is fun. Don't get me wrong. But he's still, I can't say my favorite just because, like, he'd be in the middle. Because, like, he's a good character, and I do like that he's like, I'm so cute and innocent, but I'll fucking eat you alive. Like, and then he's, like, psychotic and disturbed like this, and you're like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I like the juxtaposition in his character, but it just wants more. Yes, it just one should be fine, right? It'll ease this loneliness. It's just enough to get warm. He wants to touch? I couldn't quite make out what he was saying, but Sana waved his hand in front of me, gesturing toward the corridor. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Let's step away from here for now. Sensing such words in his gestures, we quietly left the place. But we're still in the mirror world. We didn't go to where the... Oh! Probably because we were, like, right there and we were like, oh, down is where the... Like... But why wouldn't it have been up? You know what I mean? Because it seems like, oh, he's down, and if we go downstairs, he's the evil presence there, so we can't go to where the mirror is. Because what did I say? All Hibiki has to do is wait by the mirror, because he knows that's where we're going to end up going. But why would the cafeteria not be, like, on the first floor or something? Don't you think it'd be easier? Because you got to get, like, shipping and receiving. You got to get, like, you know, food products and stuff in. It'd be so much easier to do that on a first floor than have to lug it up to, like, a third floor. But making sure there were no mirrors, I let out a sigh as we entered the classroom. My hands, they're still shaking. Resisting the urge to sit down, I asked Sana a question. Just now, below the stairs, that was Hibiki, right? Yeah, I believe so. That was his voice. The fact that he was in front of the mirror that's supposed to connect to the real world... I think it means he doesn't want you to go back. Why would Hibiki do that? I wrapped my arms around myself to try to stop shaking. I couldn't believe the shy Hibiki I'd met before would do something like that. Yet the eerie sound of his voice was enough to convince me. I never thought the story of the boy dragging people through the mirror was true, but... Sana merely shook his head with a thoughtful expression on his face. Hibiki said himself it was impossible to pull the living through the mirror by force. At this time the two of us wanted to see each other. He said that because the two of us shared a desire to be together, you might be able to enter the mirror. I see. It's what's happening, so I guess it makes sense. Honestly, I didn't totally understand. Since I was able to come here, I guess that must be correct, but it's a bit surprising. So after I returned to the mortal realm, you and Hibiki kept in touch? After school, you came and spoke to the mirror, didn't you? He and I talked a lot about it when we saw you visit. So, does that mean you were watching me? He's like, I mean, yeah, but not in the shower, except for that one time. Sana stopped suddenly. His eyes shifted back and forth, and he began to fidget with his hands. Eventually, he cracked a small smile. Speaking of which, what's with this weather we're having recently? Lamest deflection ever! I love it! Don't try and change the topic! In response to my continued questioning, Sana got even more flustered and began to speak incoherently. Wait, after I went back, were you watching me? Well, just a little bit. Whenever I thought of you, I'd go peek in and check up on you. How often is a little bit? No more than, let's say, 8 hours a day. I love him so much. I love it. 8 hours a day. So the whole entire time I was awake, basically. Well, I mean, that I wasn't in school. I mean, you could have been watching. You're like, you were in school. I didn't do that. I mean, all my free time. I know it's not half of my time awake. Of course, I didn't go into your house or invade your privacy or anything like that. Please don't be scared or creeped out or anything. Like, how do we know? You're saying you didn't peep on me in the shower, but you might have. We don't know. Like, just 8 hours a day. You know, I'd follow you around, I'd watch you go into school, and then maybe I'd talk to Beaky for a little bit, then I'd peek in your classes, and I'd follow you around when you were going to the cafeteria. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just fucking adorable. He's just following you. And then he's like, I didn't follow you home, but, you know, I would follow you home, but not in your house. Sana pleaded with me, looking like he was going to cry. Seeing him like that cleared all my fears away, and I nodded at him with a wry smile. Only a third of your day. Of course I wouldn't think that about you. Besides, I was always thinking about you too, Sana. It's a little embarrassing for me to admit, but it actually makes me kind of happy.
Oh, happy. So you like being watched?
No, not like that. I mean, it's like you were watching over me. But it's not like I want you chasing me or spying on me, though. Seeing me turn bright red and shout, Sana's lips contorted into a grimace. Then he placed his finger over my lips.
Shh! It's dangerous to be so loud.
Sorry.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I like seeing you all red and blushing. You look cute. If I knew I wouldn't just slip right through you, I'd probably try to silence you with my lips.
God damn, you can't say shit like this to me. Ugh, I wish.
Every time I think about this kind of thing, I just can't stop myself. I should have never let you go back.
Sana.
If you think about it, I'm probably much scarier than Hibiki.
I mean, saying things like that, like, I should have never let you go back, or I wish you had, those things, okay, I feel like can fit his character, especially if he gets a little possessive when he but, like, I might just kill you. I feel like, yes, there could be a point where, like, if they were leading into, because he said he could get possessive, but, like, if they let that up, I should never let you go back, and, like, blah, blah, blah. And they kept kind of building on that or whatever, or, like, say we had stayed in the ghost realm a little bit longer, then him maybe being like, maybe I should just kill you and make sure you stay here. Then I feel like maybe that could have fit. But where it came, it was like, I don't think you would have. Is there a point where you saying that might have made sense? Yes. Was that it? No. It feels very out of character for that moment, I guess. You know what I mean? But out of character, I guess not technically if you really are possessive. But they threw that away. They basically were like, I'm very possessive. Okay. And then you really, until now, like, now you're getting a little bit. You're following us around and like, whatever. And now you're like, maybe I should never let you go back. Okay, I can see that kind of peeking through. But not enough for it to be problematic. We're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Or you saying you should have killed, you could kill me, and I believe it. You know what I mean? So, Sana spoke with a sarcastic smile, but I'm not scared of you. I feel the same. I feel like I'm not scared of you is probably the right answer, but I feel the same way is what I want to say. If that means I feel the same way, you probably shouldn't have let me go back. I should have stayed dead. And I feel like that would be a bad answer for the game, but it's the right answer for Spacey. Okay. All right. Bets. It doesn't count. You don't get to bet. If you get bragging rights, you get nothing else out of it. But you don't get to bet if you've already played this. But I would think, I feel the same way is going to be like, lead to a, quote, a bad end where we get to stay here forever. You know what I mean? Where we end up dead. I'm not scared of you is probably the right answer. Yeah. Oh no, I feel the same way. Holy shit! Okay! Alright, Spacey is wrong! I mean, it's so funny because it's a save file here and you're scrolling up and I'm scrolling up slowly and I'm like, good God, it's like 3 pages long. Because I don't want to like whip it up too fast. Because sometimes when it's choice right after choice, they're like very close together. But like, there's like a huge gap of like 5 lines between create the save file 3 and where the answer is. I feel the same way, really. So then does I'm not scared of you lead and be like, well, you should be. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way makes it sound like I want him to choke me. Whatever. All right. Maybe I read that wrong. I feel the same way. The same. Sana looked at me doubtfully, but I nodded and spoke softly to him. Unless she means, I feel like I didn't have enough time with you. Then that's valid. Okay. I know I shouldn't think this way. But there are times where I wish I could go back to being a living ghost. Touching you, laughing with you. We were able to spend time together. Sorry, bird. Santa's shoulders trembled. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, trying to say something. But in the end, he said nothing and just shook his head. Oh, he looks so sad. Look at our precious, beautiful ghost baby.
What can I say? That makes me unbelievably happy. Let's return to the previous topic, shall we?
The weather? Or are you stalking me? Santa exhaled lightly, a bitter smile still on his face.
When you came to the mirror, you came to see both me and Hibiki, right?
Yes. Were you in the mirror at that time?
Yes, Hibiki let me in. The two of us talked about you here.
Okay, listen. If you want to share me with Kureha, I'm cool with that. Maybe with Koyo, because he seems pretty cool. I don't love his hair, but I also don't hate it. It's not bad. It could be better, but like it's fine. It works for him. I think it's alright. It's acceptable. It's passable. Okay. Hibiki's not. Again, I love him as a character, but not as a love interest that I want to romance. Again, even though his route was great, you know what I mean? He's the honorary. You get to be in the friend house. There's going to be a mirror in the friend house where you can hang out. Because you're one of our bros. You're pretty cool. And I liked your route, but I don't see me romancing you. Like, hell yeah, let's get, like, you're so adorable. Like, he's not quite as baby-faced as some of the other characters. But you know what I mean? He still has the innocent, sweet face. So, like, it's just not my thing, so. Even though he's kind of pretty, but, anyway. You know what I mean. Anyway.
And then the moment you touched the mirror, Hibiki, he started acting very strange.
From this side of the mirror, I laid my...
from this side of my mirror, I laid my hand on top of yours.
This is the warmth I've been searching for. It feels good. And wait, I feel like Hibiki is the one saying that? Like, this is really confusing. From this side of the mirror, I laid my hand on top of yours. But Hibiki sounds like he's the one doing it. But they didn't say who was... Okay, I'm not sure, but anyway.
He began laughing. It was as though something in him went mad. Hibiki...
Sorry. I kind of drifted off there. So, okay, because that's what I thought was originally Sena put his hand against ours in the mirror. But then it sounded like, but then Hibiki's like this warmth, like he's the one who did it. So I'm not really sure who did, but whatever. Maybe Hibiki can still feel our warmth just by touching the mirror. Warmth?
From there he told me what I told you. He told me that if I brought you into this world, I might be able to talk to you.
Why did he act like that? Because he's a little crazy. Sena, I know it's wrong of me to think this, but do you think he brought up the possibility of us being able to talk here together as some kind of trap? Now that would make Hibiki a little more interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a little cray-cray in his own route, but,
I wonder. I don't want to accuse him of anything.
Right. Sorry, I shouldn't have even said it.
No, whatever his initial intentions were, he's acting very strange right now. You have every right to be suspicious.
I think the madness takes over him, and I think when he was originally offering, yes, maybe there's something in the back of his mind that's like, and then she's here, and then I can touch her. But he's like, no, you have to be wary of me. I'm gonna hide. But he can't control it. You know what I mean? I nodded lightly in response to Sena's words, and tilted my head in thought. But suppose he really did want to drag me into this world. What could Hibiki's goal be?
I'm afraid it might be just as he said. He's after your warmth. He's been away from the living, and from spirits, for that matter, far longer than I have. I fear your warmth is far too intense for him. That's why he wants to keep you in this world, even if it kills you.
If I were to die, my warmth would be gone forever.
Hibiki's way of thinking might be strange, but I don't think I'm in a position to judge him. After all, there's a part of me that doesn't want you to go back to the real world either.
I couldn't bring myself to say it wasn't true. Seina's face was full of sadness, and yet he refused to look away from me.
This feeling of wanting to be with you, it just keeps swelling inside me more and more. So much that I can't control it. So, if I start to act strange too, I don't want you to think twice about running. Go back to your own world.
It wasn't a question, it was a request. It was merely an affirmation of what needed to be done.
My life was nothing but a struggle to make my dreams come true. Everything else in my life took a back seat to that. But when I met you, I was captivated. For the first time in my life, I knew what it meant to be in love. I found myself thinking only about you, to the point I surprised even myself.
This is like so ridiculous and we can't be with this, but stop it! Why, game? The writers are brilliant, but awful. You're brilliant assholes. They're brilliant because you're like, everything about this is so romantic and beautiful, and then you won't let me have him and you suck. But maybe that's part of what makes it like so goddamn good. Because like if you were having this conversation and like, oh, you'd be like, oh, yeah, okay. But like it feels more intense and you're like, I'm gonna die. Because you can't be with this person. You know what I mean? So it just feels more moving and touching and like soul crushing.
So, when you make it back, there's one thing I have to ask. When I think of you, please let me to continue to watch over you.
Seina spoke to me with a gentle look on his face, but I cast my gaze to the floor. That isn't fair, Seina. I don't get to touch you. I don't even get to look at you.
Cleo said the same thing. Said I was shrewder than he expected.
Seina gave a little chuckle and then checked our surroundings again. I know we're like way over time because I think like we're probably at least 10 minutes over, maybe more than that, maybe 12. But like this part's going on, so like whatever, it is what it is.
First things first, we gotta get you out of here and slip past Tabiki.
When I heard him say that, I guess I don't want to go back. I don't wanna. I can't imagine. I guess I have to go back. I guess I have to go back. There's no way no, I don't accept it. I don't accept it. I don't want to go back. Thank God. Good. I knew I had to get out of this dangerous place, and yet I knew that if I returned back to my world, I wouldn't be able to talk with Seina again. I want to be with Seina. I think we're almost like 20 minutes over. We're pushing it at this point.
Don't give me that look. I'll lose all control.
I'm sorry. Just then, Seina covered my mouth with his hand, which caused me to suddenly stop. I felt my fears rising with a stern expression. Could it be? Stay here, he whispered in my ear, and I nodded. Then Seina left the room. From the hall, I heard the two of them talking. Okay. That wasn't exactly a transition, but I'm gonna stop it here because we are definitely fucking over. And I don't want it to go too far over, so we're definitely way over. But we're gonna stop here, and then we'll just pretend that's a transition and like they're on the hall talking. I'm gonna cock block us both a little bit. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.